Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, this is your channel for everything VR related, but today, I'm Madman. That's because we're finally jumping into Batman Arkham Shadow and taking on the role of the Dark Knight himself. So I'll be giving you all the information you need to know about this game, like does it live up to the hype, how good are the graphics, what's the combat like, and does it have a good storyline, which I promise I will not spoil. Now I just want to start off with the basic information and then jump right into my overall experience. If you recently picked up a Quest 3 or Quest 3S, Batman's coming along for the ride free of charge. And for everyone else, this game will set you back $50 for a 10 plus hour story-driven experience set in the Batman Arkham universe. Plus there's plenty of hidden items to find for the completionists out there, and a full RPG leveling system where you get to choose what aspects of Batman's arsenal and combat abilities to upgrade. That's right, this game takes place between that amazing Arkham series that we got on flat screen between 2009 and 2015. It's slot right in there, and I will get back to that topic later in the video. For now though, I want to discuss my initial experience. If you guys previously watched my early impressions of the demo for this title, I was absolutely blown away. I was, however, flown out to Camouflage Studios in Seattle, so there is the possibility that I was over intoxicated with the experience, and I ended up enjoying it more than I should have. Well, I'm happy to say that's not the case, and the full release of this game is so much better. That's right, it really is a lot better than the experience that I got at Camouflage Studio, and I can't believe it. So let's get into all of that. What makes this game so damn good? Now I want to start with the aspect that blew me away the most, and that's the fact that they managed to make a true Arkham Series game in VR. Camouflage Studio used Arkham Asylum as their major inspiration for this title, and they broke down every aspect. The combat, the pacing, how the storyline's delivered, the detective mode, and they were able to take all of those aspects and bring them into VR in a true-to-life fashion. Honestly, I was so impressed here. You instantly know you're in one of those Arkham games if you are familiar with the titles from 2009 to 2015. That's Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and Arkham Knight. If you're familiar with those games, you're familiar with this one. Absolutely 100%. They did it fantastically well, and this impressed me more than I expected. A lot of times we hear, I want this game in VR, and it never really translates. Somehow they managed to do it here. And one of the main ways they managed to do this is with the combat. However, I feel like this will be the most controversial topic, and people will either love or hate the combat. I know some people are going to be looking for physics-based combat like blade and sorcery, but that is not what the Arkham series is all about. Batman is patient, methodical, and picks his enemies apart. So sticking with that concept, you can't just jump in and start swinging wildly. You need to wait for some cues and specific openings. And once again, if you are familiar with those flat-screen Batman titles, you'll notice how well this translates. There was an almost dance-like rhythm to the combat that centered around balancing your enemies, using bat tools to your advantage, and having some pretty quick reflexes. So while the game is definitely physically engaging and an absolutely amazing emulation of the flat-screen titles, no, it's not a physics-based fighter. You can't just go in there, punch as fast as you can, and if you're a real-life athlete, you won't be better at this game than someone who's just marginally athletic. As long as you could throw a couple punches without being out of breath, you can play this game. And I like that because, listen, it's a video game. It's not supposed to be, hey, if you're an athlete, you're instantly better at the game. This is not a sport, okay? This is a game. You're going to embody Batman, and this lets you do it in an amazing manner. I absolutely love the combat. There are moments where I lost myself in the combat. It feels so damn good. Now, another aspect that makes this game so damn good is the setting and overall storytelling. Now, I wasn't sure Camouflage was going to be able to pull this one off, but not only did they bring back a lot of the original voice actors from the Arkham series, but they also made the excellent choice of setting this game briefly after Arkham Origins, where we have a younger and a bit more impulsive Batman. Now, that's important here because not only does it play into the overall storyline, where Batman's a little bit more reckless, it also lets you embody a more aggressive Batman and get those like really brutal interrogations going. There are parts where you are so immersed, you're basically like holding a guy off a cliff and you're like, where is he? Where is he? Tell me! And honestly, that's what you want from a Batman game. You can't ask for more. It's one thing to do it on flat screen, but when you're doing it in VR, it's something else. Now again, I don't want to spoil any of the overall storyline. All I'll say is it's done extremely well, albeit not the most unique Batman story we've ever seen. Now moving on to the graphics, and the good news just continues. In terms of quest titles, this game looks absolutely fantastic. I didn't witness any foveated rendering, texture pop-ins, or those jagged edges you typically get from a game running at lower resolution. A lot of VR games are just begging for anti-aliasing because you see all those jagged edges on pretty much every surface, and that is not the case here. I was really happy overall. Texture quality is great. If I'm gonna nitpick and complain here and there, when you're on some of the in-game cutscenes where you're actually in-game and talking to people like Gordon, or that's the only one I'll name to keep the storyline a secret, but when you're looking at them face to face, yeah, this looks like a last gen game. There's only so much you could do on the Quest. So in terms of overall VR games, it's not stunning. In terms of Quest games, yeah, it's top notch. It's right up there. It looks really good. Lighting effects are good. You see Batman's shadow every once in a while when you're floating down. It's great. Like, I can't ask for more on a Quest game. I'd love to see this powered by like a PlayStation 5 or a PC, but that's not in the cards. Now, speaking of power, I do have to mention the fact that it looks like they're pushing the Quest 3 to the absolute max. There's no reprojection here, but the game only runs at 72 frames per second, and something like casting your gameplay or recording is enough to have a noticeable impact on the overall gameplay. Continuing with less than great news, there's one thing that I noticed at my demo 2 months ago that I figured would be an issue when this game launches, and I was right. There are definitely still some bugs in this game. 2 months ago, I said, listen, we're all experiencing some bugs. Not enough to destroy the experience or even really mar the experience, but we were seeing a lot of frame rate hitching. There were occasional crashes here and there or getting stuck in the wall. Now, I will say, from that demo 2 months ago to what we are playing now is night and day. They made so many improvements, I can't believe it. The frame rate is so much better. I have not got stuck once, and my game has not crashed on me. However, I know that's not the case for everyone. I am in a specific Discord, and a lot of people are reporting bugs from the minor to a little bit of the major. Now, I did personally have a progress bug, which is a major issue. I was able to eventually overcome it, and I will say the entire team at Camouflage has the backing of Meta. They are all hands on deck. They have all of these issues. Like, they know almost every single one of them. They're working on them. They're in communication with us, all the content creators, and I am absolutely certain that they will work out all the kinks. I just think the day one launch, there's still definitely going to be a few kinks, like I said. So if you're concerned something like that may ruin your overall experience, maybe just try not to get overwhelmed by the hype and give the title an extra week or so to marinate. Honestly, they are working double, triple, quadruple overtime over there. They are banging out updates incredibly fast. This is still a Meta exclusive highlight title, a system seller, highly recommended. Honestly, I would tell people to go buy a Quest 3S just for this game. So don't worry, they're gonna fix up any issues that are lingering right now. I will say the people who are having any type of major issues are few and far between. So I think most people are gonna have a great experience, and some people might run into a little bit of a headache. So, like I said, if you're concerned about that, give it a little bit more time. I know they're planning some immediate patches, but otherwise, I love the experience. Highly recommend it. It's absolutely fantastic. Probably the best VR game to date. Yep, I'm putting it up there next to Asgard's Wrath 2 and Half-Life Alyx. Very different game, doesn't play like those, but if you're a Batman fan, if you like physically active games, you like a good storyline, there's not much more to ask for. It's just so authentically Batman Arkham. It fits right in that series. I can't believe they were able to nail that. And that was today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you have any other questions, something I forgot to address about this game, drop them down below. And I'll see you guys on next time.